Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and we're back covering the world of sports entertainment. Well, I know my co-host here, DK Danny, will not like that phrase. He's a bit of a purist. He wants me to call it pro wrestling, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, we're back with another wrestling roundup. This is episode 6, I believe,
Yeah.
of Kayfabe and Out. And yeah, let's not waste any more time. Since the last episode, we've had SmackDown, Triple Mania, and Raw. So, Danny, I just want to get your thoughts on the programming this week from WWE. Has it been any good, or is it the same old?
I say it's been quite similar to be honest. No major changes, especially SmackDown. I thought was really boring. They've got Sami Zayn back on SmackDown now. Part of Bloodline. It feels like this guy's been part of the Bloodline door for like such a long time. But yeah, SmackDown was pretty meh. And then Triple Mania, I caught a bit of it. The almost bit poppy to be honest. But I was watching UFC instead of that, so I didn't really watch the whole show. The main event, though, I enjoyed AJ Styles coming and interfering, costing Dominic Mysterio. So yeah, I feel like that again, really fun. Then going to Raw and yeah, again, Raw was okay this week to be honest, better than normal weeks. The main event between Braun and Jay I thought was really good. It was a very extreme rules fight. I mean, that's the kind of match I want to have between Braun and Jay. You don't want to give him a singles match which ends in a disqualification like they're doing for like the last 5 weeks of Raw. So yeah, I'm glad there was some fresh up here and it was a good match to be honest. And then Roman comes out, basically helps Jay win. So yeah, good stuff in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H has got a fetish for tag team matches to close the show, man. It's getting ridiculous at this point. But I, I watched a bit of Raw as well. I'm surprised that Roman Reigns is actually going to give Bronson Reed a match. Like, fair play in it to Roman. He does not have to do that at all. But it looks like they're gonna have a singles match at the. Well, we'll get onto it now. So basically, WWE have come out and announced their September 20th pay-per-view, PLE, whatever. The first one on ESPN, I believe. They're
Yeah.
entering a new partnership with ESPN. It's going to be the last ever PLE on Peacock, I believe. It's their old school ECW pay-per-view that they decided to use. WrestlePalooza. What are your thoughts on that, Danny? Do you like the name or?
Personally, I think it's a horrible name. I think it's such a bad name. You've got Bad Blood, you've got No Mercy, you've got Unforgiven, you've got Armageddon. Out of all these names, you choose WrestlePalooza. Such a bad name. I mean, the show, it looks like they're going to stack that show because it's the first show on ESPN. The rumored matches are Cena Brock, Cody Drew, and Punk Seth, like your three big matches. I mean, that is some card if they're going to, stack you up against All Out on the same day. But yeah, the actual pay per view, I think it's awful. I think WrestlePalooza is just a corny name.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for bringing back old school pay-per-views and whatever, but this one, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, they had Bad Blood right there. I think that's a brilliant
Exactly.
pay-per-view. Even I saw reports saying Over the Limit was going to be, that would have been even better, but it's not too deep to be fair. But yeah, WrestlePalooza looks like we're going to get Cena Brock as the main event. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, which I'm really looking forward to. Drew obviously cut a really good promo on SmackDown. And yeah, they're going to stack this card obviously because of the ESPN deal. And not only that, they're going up against AEW's, was it All Out or All In?
All Out.
All Out, yeah. So yeah, they want to embarrass Tony Khan. So yeah, WrestlePalooza to look forward to. Touching on John Cena then, he's had a lot to say this week. He's done quite a few interviews or whatever. First thing, let's talk. He's talking about his first ever heel promo, and I don't know if you have it up, the tweet up, Danny, but
Yeah.
I found it a bit weird because if anything, I thought his very first promo as a heel was amazing. I don't know about you, Danny.
Agreed. Yeah, I think the first promo, I think it was in front of an international crowd. If I remember, I think it was Brussels or somewhere. He
Yeah,
got a really good promo. Like,
loved it.
I think he started doing the same promos every week and he got a bit stale. But that first promo, I remember it was like, we were watching it together on Twitter and we were all gassing it up so much in the group chat. We were like, "Wow, this is,
Yeah,
this John Cena heel turn is going to be one of the greatest things ever." And then just after that, I mean, I get the promos after that because they were still, it was the same thing every week. And then he went into the Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton feud actually, and then instead of talking about his and Randy's legacy, the family's legacy, he was talking about the crowd turning on him. I just didn't feel it. But yeah, I thought the first actual promo was a really good promo.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny. I thought the first promo was amazing when he's just like, "I've been in a toxic relationship with you guys," and I still remember the kid when they cut to the kid's face. That was just gold, in it. It was so funny. Yeah, I think Cena's been very harsh on himself for the first ever promo. What followed wasn't very great. I'd rather he be more critical of that. Which he kind of like, I don't know, like they asked him about what did you think about your heel turn? He's like, "Oh, I'm not going to dwell on it. It's in the past now. What's the point?" Which I found kind of funny. But yeah, he's had some comments about Logan Paul as well. He said that he thinks Logan Paul has earned the right to call himself a wrestler, and he feels that he's quite underrated. What do you think about that, Danny?
This is just PR from Cena. I think this is like great PR for Cena. He's doing it. Of course, he's facing Logan Paul, a Clash in Paris, and you gotta gas up your opponent a little bit before the match. And yeah, he's definitely been. I want to say told by the company to say this, but like he's a company man. He does what's best for the company. He knows Logan Paul is one of the biggest stars in the company, so he's not gonna like say anything negative about Logan Paul. I mean, during the match in character they can't say that, but I feel like when he's doing media, he's obviously always gonna say good things about Logan Paul. So yeah, I'm not really surprised about this. I mean, we all know this channel still on Logan Paul. We don't really think he's a good wrestler, but I mean, Cena's got his own opinions. Fair enough.
No, I think Logan Paul can wrestle. He's definitely got athleticism and he knows how to do the moves. Just a bit, he can't carry a match in it by himself. He needs someone to guide him, which I think he's still learning. But in terms of character work, though, Danny, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he's improving. I don't know if you agree. I feel like he's getting a bit better. Like I was impressed with some of his work when he was in the tag team with Drew against Jelly Roll. Like the way he managed to make Jelly Roll like a sympathetic babyface figure was really good. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I think he's one of the only heels we got left that can people actually hate. I don't know if that's go away heat or people like actually hate him, but fair enough. I mean, there are many heels on the roster that people just hate. So in terms of that character work, yeah, you're right. He is doing a good job because people actually hate him, and that's what he is meant to do.
Yeah, I think Logan Paul is gonna have a huge 2026. I can see him being favorite for the Money in the Bank. I can see him winning a world title next year.
I was gonna say that I think he might win the big one next year. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when, maybe a SummerSlam or something, but he's winning the title next year, 100%. I want to talk a bit more about WrestlePalooza then. Let's move on to Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, we all said, didn't it? We've all said that if there's anyone to take the title off Cody, it is Drew McIntyre. And I feel like this is long overdue Drew McIntyre being back in the main event title scene. That promo he cut was amazing, man. And what do you think, Danny? Do you think WWE are going to pull the trigger maybe because it's the first one on ESPN? They want to make a big statement. Do you think they can pull the trigger and have Drew beat Cody for the title?
Nah, I don't think they can pull the trigger. I'll be dead honest with you. I think they see Cody as that guy, and you know, on the first pay per view, I don't think they're gonna pull it off. Personally, Triple H, please put the belt on Drew McIntyre. Just do it. Why not? Just give him a reign until WrestleMania next year, and have babyface beat him, which gives that babyface more of no coupons. But please, Triple H, there's Cody Rhodes, again, I think I like Cody Rhodes more than most people do. I think he's a great champion, great character. I like his promos, I like his matches. But you got Drew McIntyre there, who's, in my opinion, top three heels in the company. You put the belt on him, you have him have multiple defenses against guys like Sami Zayn, who's right there. Just give him some baby faces he can beat because his first reign, the pandemic, he won the title at WrestleMania 30, was it 6? Yeah, 36. It was in front of no one. He won that. Then I think he won his second belt the same way. I think he beat Randy Orton. It must have been on a Raw, I think, or a pay per view to win his belt back after Randy defeated him. After that, he's not really had a reign, and I feel like he's due one. This guy is one of the best performers in the whole company. Such a great wrestler, even better promo. So yeah, if I was Triple H, like I said, copy is the first event on ESPN. They're stacking it. Give the show a big shock. give the show a big shot and have Drew McIntyre, even if that match is actually, because that match is not going to main event, is it? It's going to be Cena against Brock Lesnar. That's going to main event. Have this match even open and have Drew McIntyre win the belt. That puts more eyes on your product, gets people talking about that show. Perfect way to do it. Personally, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't trust this company to put the belt on Drew McIntyre, but they should do it.
That's a bizarre statement to me, Danny. The company doesn't trust Drew McIntyre with the belt because this guy, for me, would be the perfect world champion for any promotion.
Yeah.
He's done more than enough to deserve it. If there's that brass ring, whatever, he's grabbed it like 10 times by now. But yeah, it's really baffling in it to see what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. It's like this guy, he deserved the belt for a while now, and it's like, what is the end goal with Drew McIntyre? I still don't understand what Triple H's vision is. Like, are we gonna get him with a title run or what? Like, his contract was coming up last year, and he decided to re-sign, and you thought WWE would reward him maybe, but maybe made him some assurances and promises, and it just leaves you scratching your head, innit? How it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, he got his moment at Mania 40, but it was cut short by CM Punk and Damian Priest. So yeah, I wouldn't really count that as a title. I think he does, like you said, he deserves a long title reign. I mean, this has to be really long. Just give him a 6 months, have him beat a lot of baby faces, have just new fresh matchups that we've seen. Cody Rhodes, I think, has done more than enough with the belt. I think he doesn't really need the belt. My big match for Mania was Punk with Cody. I think you can still do that. Maybe Cody can win the belt back later, or even have Punk win the belt and you go into that match as Punk being the heel as champion. Cody chasing the belt like that. But yeah, I think Drew has done more than enough to win the belt. I think he's a great performer. Again, nothing against Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes. I think he's one of the best performers in the whole company. But you got Drew McIntyre here. You've got a heel. You've got your first pay per view on ESPN. You've got a thing here right now to make shocking TV. A statement. Have people talking the next day. You do that by putting the belt on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Danny. Just talking a bit more about WrestlePalooza then. I think Brock Cena is going to have a stipulation to it. There's rumors it's going to be a last man standing. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with the last man standing match. I think we've seen Brock in the last man standing match against Roman Reigns. That I think was his last best match. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think again, Cena, Brock in a last man standing match. Having them have a singles match would not be a good idea in 2025. I don't think they both can have a good singles match. Like we've seen Cena against Cody Street Fight, that was one of the best matches of this year. You give Cena and Brock a stipulation like that where they just use lots of weapons. You get just it would be a great spectacle. I just don't think they can have a singles match. But yeah, a last man standing match is probably my front runner for the match. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny. Them having just a straight up singles match, just not what you want to see in 2020. Yeah. It 100% needs a stipulation. I mean, another match that could do with a stipulation maybe is Seth Punk. If this is going to be their blow off match, their final match to settle their feud, what's the stipulation you would like to see? I know I suggested something, but people are saying it's a bit outdated maybe. I'd say a good old fashioned Iron Man match would be amazing for these two.
There's Iron Man match. I think you suggested 3 stages in hell. I think that again is great. Hell in a Cell, I don't really want. I think you had that last year with Punk and Drew. If you do recreate it, you set a high bar, and if you don't reach that bar, then everyone's gonna consider you a disappointment, even though it is a really good match. But yeah, that's another match I think needs a massive stipulation. Seth v Punk, the first match on Netflix, I thought was okay. It wasn't that great as much. I think the Steel Cage match again was much better, but then it got silly at the end. They stopped finisher spamming. This match, though, I think needs, you need to end that feud. They've been feuding since Punk returned in 2023. They've been feuding for it's been nearly 2 years. You have this blood feud, end in a massive stipulation match. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see this match and Cena. I wouldn't mind if Cody Drew was just a singles match. That match on the card can just be a singles match, but I think Cena, Brock, and Seth Punk especially both need stipulations.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Danny. Just talking a bit more about Cody Rhodes then. He has his own podcast. He done one with Becky Lynch, and they were talking about heels and stuff. And Cody basically said he's not really interested in turning heel anytime soon. He said, "I don't know if I'd have the heart to do it," which is kind of weird because it's very contradicting. Because a few weeks ago, saying I would love to play heel. So
This guy's hilarious, man. Cody Rhodes is actually so funny, bro. I remember his heel run in Ring of Honor. It was such a great run. Like it was genuinely such an amazing character.
The V's he runs were great. The
Yeah,
dash.
exactly. And but what was I gonna say? When he was asked about it 2 3 weeks ago, I think it was. He was like, "Yeah, I love to be a heel," and now he's saying the opposite. So one thing I'll say is, yeah, don't trust Cody Rhodes what he says. He's gonna say one thing, and the next week he said the other thing. I've got to think about this. I don't like how much they're asking him about this heel turn. I know everything about wrestling, is dead and all that. But
Mm.
I'm not a big fan of, even wrestlers like Becky Lynch or, other wrestlers or even the media asking Cody Rhodes about heel turn. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't know how you copy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in 2025, Kayfabe is dead. This show is called Kayfabe by now, but it's just like, and obviously the direction WWE is going with, they're playing into the fact that everyone knows this is scripted. Obviously, with the docuseries they're doing, WWE Unreal and all that. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it, but at the same time, I get it in it because from a business point of view, it makes sense. That's how you bring people, how you can make people interested. Like stuff like Unreal, even though it exposes the business, and if you're an old school fan or an old school wrestler, even you'd hate that. But that's the sign of the times. I think Paul Heyman said it on the Helwani show, like um, when he was in the wrestling business in his like youth, shit like that, Unreal, all that, like exposing the business, that was like the gravest sin you could commit. Like you'd get heat, you wouldn't even be allowed back into a promotion or anything if you were doing stuff like that. And now it's just so normalized. And yeah, Heyman's like, it's like it was a weird adjustment for him because it feels like a alien world that he's in with the Unreal and all this stuff.
Yeah, agreed. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I liked Unreal as like just a long document. I really liked it. I feel like it gives some interesting insight into the business, into guerrilla position and how wrestlers work to each other. But still, I'm not the biggest fan of it, especially with stuff like this, because back in the day, you wouldn't really think, okay, when this guy gonna turn heel, it'll all be done on TV. Like, what do you say?
And now you're like expecting it. It's taken away the intrigue.
Exactly. Now it's just like, okay, when's this guy gonna turn heel? Back in the day, you'd have storylines on TV where, okay, they'll plan the eventual season. Now it's like in a switch, they can turn this guy heel whenever they want him. Like when Cena turned babyface, it was just in a switch. No, I mean
Yeah,
the actual promo Cena did, I liked it. I was a big fan of it, but again, not a fan of how they just kind of forget everything and just turn Cena babyface. But yeah, it is what it is in it. It's not gonna change now.
yeah, it's just it is what it is, isn't it? Either get used to it or don't. Speaking of WWE, then we saw Triple Mania on the weekend, and the crowd was going crazy with the "We want Alberto Del Rio" chants. Like, what did you make of that, Danny? Do you think it's a bizarre world where WWE actually back? Well, they brought Lesnar back, so why not Del Rio?
Listen, don't count anything out. I think if they wanted to bring Alberto back, they do it. Personally, I have no interest in seeing Alberto on my TV screen in 2025. I thought back in the day when, in 2011, 2012, when he was, that foreign heel, amazing job. He was one of the best in the
Well,
company at
he's
the time.
underrated, Del Rio.
I was gonna say his 2011 run, especially when he first showing bare hype around it. I used to watch that guy and actually enjoy him as a foreign heel on my TV. But it's 2025 and it's been what 12, 13 years since then. I've got no interest in seeing him on my TV screen. If they'll do it, I think they could. If there was enough support behind him, they were chatting about it, and then Rey Mysterio was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll bring you back." But he said it in like a proper sarcastic way. Apparently, it wasn't okay, like being straight dead serious. But yeah, I feel like the stance around the company. I feel personally, to me, when they took the belt of him just before they started the partnership with WWE, told me a lot. Okay, like they don't want this guy on the TV because they could have just bought him on TV if he was champion, with and had both promotions merge, and he could be the champion, but instead it was Vikingo. But yeah, I think taking the belt off him just before the partnership tells me a lot.
I got a question for you then, Danny. In 2025, who would you rather bring back to WWE if you had the choice? Alberto Del Rio or Karrion Cross?
uh,
I'm bringing Del Rio back 100% just for that theme, bro.
I'm gonna say. Oh, well, I want to say Karrion Cross. I'm gonna bring Karrion Cross back. I feel like there'll be a big moment there. He left the company and they came back. It's just worth it for that. Alberto Del Rio. There's no interest in seeing this guy on my screen in 2025. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Speaking on that copy, another man who might come back to the company, Chris Jericho.
this is one of my goats. I'm so happy to hear this news. I don't care how washed he is. It's fucking Chris Jericho, bro. You're stupid if you're saying no, don't bring him back. Of
Listen,
course, Chris Jericho coming back to WWE would be fucking massive.
hearing his theme song out of the Rumble would give me goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's washed. Let's be honest. He's not this good wrestler anymore. This learning TBS in AEW is what he is. I've been investing in Jericho since probably since early AEW, I think. Yeah, but bringing back for that pop, giving his farewell match at Mania, perfect. I don't mind him being in the company for that.
Bro, Chris Jericho is a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes. He's in my top 10 wrestlers of all time. I don't know about you, Danny.
It's like, yeah, Copy, me and you, I think that's one thing we really agree on. We have Chris Jericho really underrated and in our top 10.
Yeah, I love Jericho. I think he's so underrated. He has an argument to be on Mount Rushmore as well, because considering his longevity, all the promotions that he's done it in, he's been successful at WCW, WWF, WWE, New Japan, and even AEW. Even though his run in the last few years has been terrible, first 2 years he was like the main attraction of AEW. The whole Le Champion gimmick and the inner circle was, yeah. As I was saying before, I cut out. Danny will edit that out. Yeah, Jericho is one of the goats, man. Him coming back to WWE, as Danny mentioned, the pop would be insane. For me, Chris Jericho is one of the the greatest debut of all time. Break the walls down.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I can't wait, man. I think it's going to happen as well, because Chris Jericho in recent years has been very like defiant and like very anti WWE, and because he's been championing AEW, you know. But now he feels. I feel like he's kind of changing his tone, because he's been liking posts about to return to WWE and stuff. But yeah, I 100% I'd welcome back Chris Jericho with open arms. Even if you bring him for a backstage role, the insight that he has will be amazing for WWE.
Here's one question for you. Who would you have retire Jericho?
You know what? Dominic Mysterio. I think that would be good.
That's a great shout, man. I think it's a great
Dominic
shout. Yeah.
Mysterio, Jericho for the IC title. That would be good. That would
Oh
be
yeah.
good. But yeah, Chris Jericho, man, come back home. It's time. It's time. Speaking of AEW, then they've got a huge pay-per-view as well coming up. Is it Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, well, I don't know, but this year there's not really much of a crossover.
I was gonna
Usually
say that.
it's them.
Literally, the main event of this match is not have any New Japan wrestlers in. Here's the cards here. It's called Hangman against MJF as your main title fight. But yeah, I feel like the card looks good card, to be honest. AEW are gonna always have good cards. There you got a card against Strickland, which will be a good match. You've got Fletcher against Takahashi. You've got Copeland and Christian reuniting. So yeah, I think the actual card will be good. I think it's on a Sunday, so I might watch it if it's after the football. I'll see. But yeah.
You can, but I won't be there. Joking. Listen, I was watching a bit of the promo stuff between Hangman, Adam Page, and MJF, and like Hangman kind of like tricked MJF into using his golden chip or whatever it is that he has. That was kind of good. There's one match I want to touch on. The reunion of Edge and Christian. Well, in AEW, they're Cope and Christian Cage. I don't know about you, Danny, but for me, the greatest tag team of all time in wrestling history for me is Edge and Christian, innit? Like character-wise, wrestling-wise, matches-wise, I feel like their body of work as a tag team, 10-10. And then let me not even speak about the individual runs. They went on to be even better than the tag team itself, both guys, innit? You know how I feel about Christian, innit?
Yeah. I agree with you, Timur. I think Edge and Christian are one of the best tag teams of all time. Even as single competitors, Edge, both of them. I think Christian again severely underrated. I feel like his first WWE run, and even his second, that stuff with Orton in 2011 was so good, so good. and I'm just good to they never put the belt on him then. But yeah, this reunion, I'm looking forward to it. The match this weekend's against Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. Who
The story is really good. I've been
yeah,
keeping like a bit little eye on it. Obviously, Christian's been fucking amazing with this whole heel run that he's had since he went to AEW. Right, he's had like a career renaissance. And this whole patriarchy gimmick and the whole father, when he's mentioning people's fathers, is just absolutely hilarious. And I think the best thing about this run is he's creating a new star in Nick Wayne. Obviously, like if you look at Nick Wayne now, the rub he's getting of working with guys like Christian and Edge is just great to see. And that's how veterans and old stars need to be used. And I think AEW are starting to realize that. And yeah, I think Swerve Strickland came out and said something as well. He said in the last year or so, AEW have really stepped up their game. I don't know. What do you think about that, Danny?
Yeah, I feel like they have. I feel like the TV they were putting out last year was not great. I was watching it, but there was a reason for that. I don't think it was really good. The pay-per-views, I think, the amount of talent they got, the pay-per-views are always going to be good pay-per-views. There's no issue with that. But yeah, I feel like the TV as of late has been much better than it was last year. But yeah, talking about Christian Cage, in my opinion, he's a top two signing for AEW.
100%.
I think he's a top two signing for them. What he's done, his character work, his promo work, even in the ring, I think has been amazing. The only signing I'd say who joined after has been as good, I think, was probably CM Punk because of the impact he had. He put more eyes on the product. But that, I'm not going to count Moxie because he was basically there for the first Dynamite, and like Cody and Jericho, they were all basically already there. Like actual signings, I'd say, I would even argue Christian Cage's bigger impact than CM Punk, to be honest. But
Yeah.
maybe, who knows?
Punk, it's hard to put him at one because of obviously the whole, with hindsight, looking at what happened, it kind of damaged. Honest. Yeah, I remember when AEW signed Christian Cage, and a lot of fans were unhappy about it, saying, "Oh, that was so lackluster," or he gets injured all the time. But fair play to Christian, he hasn't been injured once since he came back, which is kind of weird because 10 years ago, all that happened to him was he kept getting injured in WWE. But yeah, I think now we're in the final stretch now of both Edge and Christian's careers. That's why they've reunited as a tag
Yeah,
team.
in my opinion, they're gonna. I think FTR win the belts this weekend, and then all out we get Christian Cage and Corp against FTR, and I think that's where they win the tag belts. Personally,
Yeah, I think it'll be a TLC match as well. It has to be.
oh, that'll be amazing.
Listen, I want Edge and Christian to just have an amazing time now, but I do want to see them back in WWE as well for one more run. I don't know if I'm asking for too much, but why not, man? Jericho, Edge, Christian, bring that trio of Canadians back home where they belong. But yeah, that's AEW and pretty much WWE covered. One last topic then, a bit of a fun one. Sheamus has come out on the Chris Van Vliet show, I believe, and he's given his Mount Rushmore of British wrestlers. Don't know if Danny has the tweet. I think he put Finlay, he put British Bulldog, Robbie Brookside, and who's the last one? I can't remember.
William Regal.
William Regal, yeah.
Oh yeah, wrong one. Let me.
But I think that's obviously he's being humble. He doesn't want to put himself.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I'm trying to think. Do you agree with his list, Danny, or do you think there's other candidates that could make a British Mount Rushmore?
I think his list is quite good, to be honest. I mean, William Regal, British Bulldog, or two I definitely agree with. Even Finley to an extent. I think one he's missed out can be Dynamite Kid. I thought Dynamite Kid probably deserves. I thought he's an unreal wrestler, unreal technician. He'd probably be mine. For Impact, I'd say Becky Lynch maybe has a spot there just for what she's done for women's wrestling. I think she has the. But yeah, I don't have a problem with this list, to be honest. I think it's a good list.
Do you think Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have an argument to make the list?
Oh,
Because when it's
maybe.
done, yeah, when they both retire, they both have really good arguments. I mean, Sheamus is close to being a Grand Slam champion. Drew McIntyre, if he gets a few world title runs on his reign, he can be there as well. Finley's a great shout, by the way. Finley is very. I used to love Finley. I don't know about you. I used to love Finley. Even I'm a warrior and I came to fight. The whole gimmick was amazing with Hornswoggle. I loved Finley. Another guy on that list who's really good as well that I feel like WWE probably didn't really utilize properly was William Regal. He was
yeah.
an amazing technician, an amazing brawler, just a great wrestler. But his character work, William Regal's character work was so good as well. Like his comedic timing, he played a lot of comedic roles throughout WWE, and he was amazing. And I think it was 2008, was it, when he won the King of the Ring, and he was doing the whole Golden Knuckles gimmick. That was really good as well.
Yeah.
Feuds. But yeah, another guy I think WWE probably could have used a bit more, William Regal. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, Regal, what he's a coach now, isn't it? He's back. He's more of a backstage kind of guy.
Yeah, I think he scouts talents and brings them into the company. But
I
yeah,
think
like,
isn't his son wrestling on NXT?
yeah, he is. He's a really good wrestler as well. Yeah. But like you said, Copy, I think Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, by the time they retire, even Gunther have a great shout to be on the Mount Rushmore of European wrestlers.
Actually, this is just British, but yeah. Oh, it's European.
Oh, it's
Oh,
European, yeah.
European then. Oh, I thought it was British.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was British. Okay, European, that kind of opens it up a bit more. But I can't be asked to think of them right now.
Oh, yeah, there's so many names here.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All we want to cover. There's not been much news, to be honest, this week in the world of wrestling. But hey, it is what it is. That was episode 6 of Kayfabe and Out. And yeah, that's been Mission Podcast. See you for the next one.